A very good evening and welcome. This is Weekend Primetime News here on MTVSports and Shakti TV. I'm Rameshwar Dalbandara. Let's start off with a look at your headlines tonight.
Never-ending signs of destruction at the Vilpattu National Park. FCID launches investigations over large-scale financial fraud said to have taken place at Lanka hospitals. 12 Sri Lankans arrested in Qatar. Former Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi sentenced to death over his role in the 2011 prison break.
The official event to kickstart the Power Conservation Month commenced this morning under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena at the Independence Square.
The objective of this program is to raise awareness among the masses on energy conservation under the theme Saving Fuel and Electricity for the Future, and also to initiate a number of practical programs in this regard around the country. Fuel the Run, a marathon organised by the Ministry of Power and Energy, was attended by President Maithripala Sirisena, Subject Minister Champika Ranawaka, officials, military personnel and the youth. 5,000 balloons with coupons inside were also released parallel to the run. The Ministry of Power and Energy has planned to provide to-cost light bulbs to the owners of the houses who obtain these coupons. Drivers, houses and industries that operate by conserving fuel and energy will be looked into and assessment will be carried out by the ministry. The sacred relics of Lord Buddha was placed at the Siri Parakumba Vihara in Kotte today. The event was presided over by President Maithripala Sirisena. Prior to placing the sacred relics on the special enclosure, the relics were brought to the temple premises in Perahara. The relics were brought to the country from the Chittagong Buddhist temple in Bangladesh as per a request made by the government of Sri Lanka, and devotees will be given the opportunity to pay homage to the relics today and tomorrow. The chief of the Siri Parakumba Pirivena in Kotte, Venerable Talagala Vimala Thero, and the chief incumbent of the temple, Venerable Mahadivala Chandra Vimala Thero, were also present.
On to our developing story tonight. Rishad Badiuddin, the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, today accepted that only around 30% of persons have been settled in the Vilpattu area. The minister made this statement speaking to reporters while touring the area in question today.
The Vilpattu National Park is Sri Lanka's largest national park. Not only is it large in size, this national park is home to 605 different plant species and 328 animal species as it dates back to the Vijayaqueni era of Sri Lanka. Since 1938, the area of the Vilpattu National Park was expanded from time to time. According to environmentalists and nature lovers, at present, around 2,500 hectares of this massive national park have been destroyed. In February 2013, upon the instructions of the Presidential Task Force, which was formed to handle the resettlement, at that time, resettlement of persons in the national park commenced.
There needs to
be a procedure that is to be followed when lands are provided to the people. A list of guidelines have been presented in Articles 23A and B in the National Environment Act. This gazette clearly states that conversion of forests covering an area exceeding 1 hectare into non-forest users needs to be done after an environmental impact assessment report is carried out to determine if the land is suitable for such non-forest users. In addition, permission needs to be given only after looking into under what conditions and what boundaries will the non-forest use will be carried out.
When Minister Rishad Badiuddin visited the National Park today, he noted that there is no need to be impatient over an environment report.
Simply because he is a minister, and if he is using his ministerial powers in an arbitrary manner to destroy forests, there is an issue as to what the leaders of this country are doing while this act is taking place. We will resort to legal action in the future. If deforestation continues, we will gather the masses against this.
The area of the Vilpattu National Park, which has been subject to deforestation and destruction, is a northern area that comes under the purview of the Department of Wildlife Conservation. According to the Forest Conservation Ordinance, it is illegal to construct permanent or temporary settlements, roads and farmlands in such a forest area.
Around 2,000 families will be living in these villages. Of those 200 families, many have not come here to be resettled. Only 30% of that number have settled here. Another 70% is to arrive here.
Newsfirst journalist Nusha Jatis questioned what measures will be taken to provide the required infrastructure facilities in line with increasing population numbers. President Maithripala Sirisena ordered for the immediate halt to deforestation and land clearing at the Vilpattu National Park as it destroys the balance in nature and also takes away all environmental resources that needs to be given to the future generations of Sri Lanka. However, information that came to light today at this media briefing indicates that the resettlement in this area in question is ongoing.
Developing story brought to you by.
Welcome back to the news. The Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division has launched an investigation over a large-scale financial fraud said to have taken place at Lanka hospitals. Police media spokesperson ASP News1st said that a renowned Colombo-based businessman was questioned on Thursday over this matter.
The Financial Crimes Investigations Division summoned a well-renowned businessman based in Colombo on Thursday. Police media spokesperson ASP News1st said that the businessman who arrived at the FCID at around 9 a.m. was questioned for around 6 hours. According to the police, a large-scale financial fraud had taken place when the shares of Lanka Hospital were sold to an Indian company. This businessman, who was questioned by the FCID on Thursday, was widely criticized for manipulating the Colombo Stock Exchange during the recent past. This businessman is accused of stealing public funds by manipulating Colombo stock market through pump and dump, a form of microcap stock fraud that involves artificially inflating the price of an owned stock through false and misleading statements.
Speaking at a ceremony to declare open a party office in the Kiribati area in Kandy today, JVP North Central Provincial Councillor Wasantha Samarasinghe expressed the following views on financial fraud and other monetary irregularities that had taken place at the Colombo Stock Exchange.
Over the recent past, billions of rupees of EPF was invested in companies at the Colombo Stock Exchange. Losses were incurred. We went to courts about it where Mohan Peiris heard the case and just cast it aside. He claimed that nothing of that sort had ever happened. But why would he even take up cases like that when the case is against the person who put him in that seat? So there's a complaint against him. But that issue is not being taken up. In Parliament, Ranil Wickremesinghe mentioned that some names saying these people had invested public property and public funds as well as funds of state institutions in the Colombo Stock Exchange. Among these names is this agent.
These are some of the views that were expressed in the political arena.
The reason for the former president's defeat was what he did while he served as the president, the ministers he appointed and several other factors. Many are yelling. Why? Not because they want to serve the people, but because they want to have power. Public mandate was for 100 days. Now the 100 days are over. However, on Tuesday, the process will begin to obtain signatures for the no-confidence motion against Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and his government. Within hours, we will have 113 signatures and we will hand it over to the Speaker. Then Ranil Wickremesinghe will dissolve Parliament. We will receive the answer in the next 10 to 11 days.
Our responsibility lies with the 19th Amendment of the Constitution and the 20th Amendment of the Constitution. We need to create a strong electoral system in the country where MPs will be accountable to the people and to their electorate. We need to create a system where the suitable individual will be elected to Parliament. We will pass it and we are prepared to even remain in the opposition after that.
I got the letter on Thursday. I have been sent a letter of demand for ₹1 billion comprising of 3 pages from my old friend. I am eagerly waiting to meet him in court. I have a lot to say to him. Because we are investigating the billions that were stolen, they are afraid. Why do they need to be afraid? If you are innocent, you can go and provide a statement without any fear. You have that right. That is a right entitled to all citizens. That is the law. We respect the judiciary. However, during Rajapaksa's era, if you went to court, the white van will arrive at night and you disappear for good. Journalists fled the country. Today, those powerful persons too can go to court and seek verdicts where the government will bow down to. That is what you call democracy.
Welcome back to the news. The Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity, which will travel through villages and towns across the country with the aim of creating a united country, reached Uhana this evening. The rally, which has already travelled across 24 cities in its journey thus far, commenced day 9 from Kalmuni.
Kalmuni is home to many who engage in agriculture and fishing. The Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity commenced its journey this morning from the city of Kalmuni. The rally was welcomed by the people of Kalmuni at an event organized opposite the Karthi Divisional Secretariat. In order to highlight the coexistence amongst the communities in the area, Buddhist religious observances were performed in Tamil. The people of Kalmuni also made their contribution to the Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity, which travels across the country for the development of the nation. The Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity, organized by the MTV networks, Newsfirst, the Colombo Port City Project and the National Youth Services Council, reached Ampara, an area well known for its green paddy fields and agriculture, this afternoon. A ceremony comprising of a number of performances welcomed the rally to Ampara. The locals of Ampara etched their mark in the Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity with their contribution.
Ampara is an area where the Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims and Burghers live together. Performing such an endeavour can be termed as a national act. As a government official, I commend the Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity.
The Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity then made its stop at the 24th location on its route, Uhana, this evening. A ceremony took place in Uhana this evening where the people of Uhana made their contribution to the rally, casting aside caste and creed. The program, the first of its kind in Sri Lanka, symbolizing national unity and reconciliation, will visit villages across the country and will join the national rebuilding endeavour. And it was evident that this program had reached the hearts of all the masses.
I really wanted to witness this program. I came to Kalmuni this morning. However, the program was over. Then I came to Ampara. It was over then too. It was afterwards that I came to Uhana. I wish this program the very best.
The Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity will travel to Polonnaruwa from Mahaoya, also passing through Mahayanganaya.
A situation has arisen where the operations of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption will take a passive part. Director General of the Commission, Dilokshi Das Wickramasinghe, said that the resignation of a commissioner and the 19th Amendment to the Constitution coming into effect had attributed to this situation.
S. Bala Patabandi, L.K. Vimlachandra and Dr. Jayanta Vikramaratne are the members of the Commission. Yesterday, L.K. Vimlachandra stepped down from his position. Director General Dilokshi Das Wickramasinghe noted that as a result, the Commission was unable to file cases pertaining to large-scale incidents.
The Constitution is a document that was chopped and chipped and brought about in great haste. So undoubtedly there is going to be major issues that will arise in the interpretation, but the foremost is that still a copy is not made available to the public. So even what I say is based on what was argued in court. But what is important is that it is not only the bribery and commission, but other commissions like the National Police Commission, the Human Rights Commission, the Finance Commission, and the other allied commissions will be more ineffective, because under that the appointments have to be made by the Constitution Council, which has yet to be appointed. These are matters that the Attorney General should have properly advised the government, the kind of pitfalls. It's unfortunate that we have this controversial situation where there's a constitutional fiasco because proper advice and guidance has not been given.
According to the Director General of the Commission, over the past 3 months, 54 cases were filed and 4 cases pertaining to large-scale incidents have been brought before the law. However, in the present context, only investigations can take place.
This is what will transpire. The chairman and commissioners meeting will stop. Policy-based decisions will not be made. There are certain documents that must bear the signatures from the commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption. Sometimes it may be an indictment, or it can be summons. Those will be stopped. However, there will be no issue with submitting documents and complaint to the commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption. There is a Director General, and these processes will be administered by her. However, there will be an impact on the final recommendation. If the recommendations need the signature of the chairman, there will be an issue with files that will keep piling.
We are going to have a hiatus where nothing will take place and there will be no further action that can be taken, because the bribery commissioner will now become defunct since it has ceased to exist.
Minister of Rural Economic Affairs S.B. Dissanayake responded to the statement made by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe regarding the court's decision on Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
Generally, 3 Supreme Court judges must be seated on the bench to hear a case. And when there is an absence of one Supreme Court judge, the usual tradition is that the court be adjourned and that the case be taken up on a different date when all 3 Supreme Court judges are present. But I feel that the fact that the 2 of them reaching a verdict is a big problem. The small issue is that this has been adjourned until October. What actually happened was that Gotabaya Rajapaksa had made the entire cabinet of ministers as witnesses. This case could have been heard by summoning all of them, including the Prime Minister. So it is not a matter which is necessary to go to places like Geneva. I believe that an Attorney General must intervene in this matter and set a proper date for this matter so that a decision could be made by the Supreme Court. This isn't such a big deal.
Minister S.B. Dissanayake made this statement when he called on the Mahanayaka of Daskiri chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Shu Attadasi Thero, this morning to look into the Thero's well-being. The minister also expressed his views on the new electoral system.
I'm also in the committee to get the 20th amendment passed. It was with my intervention that the electoral system was prepared. So we can see that we are being pulled by the leg. Doing such things isn't very good. Because the incumbent president had faith in me and told us to pass the 19th amendment. He said that with the faith he has in the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister said that the 20th amendment will be done after the 19th amendment is passed. But the way we see it, the United National Party isn't all that keen in tabling the 20th amendment.
Sajid Premadasa, the Minister of Housing and Samruddhi, attended a number of events yesterday and today in the Hambantota district.
Minister Sajid Premadasa attended an event this morning to provide concessionary loans to 140 low-income families in the Ambalantara Divisional Secretariat.
If the outcome is in favor of someone, the judiciary is good. If it is not in favor, the judiciary needs to be removed. That was the policy that was followed in the past. But today, I am happy to tell you that we are prepared to accept the decisions of the judiciary. If a verdict does not benefit the government, we will never say that the court is wrong. The President, nor the Prime Minister, nor any of us follows such level of politics.
Minister Sajid Premadasa also attended the event to declare open the drinking water project in the Rangkelia village in Tissamaharama last evening.
12 Sri Lankans who were charged and arrested by Qatar authorities for engaging in a strike after a fire at a labour camp in the Al Salia area in Qatar have been blacklisted. The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment says that the government of Qatar has taken steps to repatriate the Sri Lankans.
A fire that broke out in a labour camp in Al Salia on the 8th of this month turned the lodging to ashes and left approximately 300 Sri Lankans employed at a janitorial service company in Qatar homeless. They have been provided with temporary lodging after the fire. Expatriates who did not report to work under these circumstances have been arrested by the Qatar authorities. Nandapala Wickramasuri, the chairman of the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment, said that the Qatar police had made 12 arrests and they have engaged in a strike action while remaining in the shelter.
I received information about a certain group that was about to stage a strike action. I dispatched my officers to those locations. They had discussions with the group of youth for several hours and explained the situation to them. Afterwards, 200 of them reported to work. 12 of them objected to this and continued to voice their protest. As a result, they were arrested by the Qatar authorities and will be repatriated to the country.
However, the Sri Lankan expatriates deny the allegations of engaging in a strike.
When the fire broke out, we were told that we will be provided with lodging and after 10 days that we will be sent back to Sri Lanka. They told us that we do not need to report to work. A day later, they arrived and arrested 11 of us for engaging in a strike. We did no such thing.
According to this group of Sri Lankans, all their belongings had burnt into ashes and the authorities have not provided them with form of compensation.
We have not received any form of compensation. We did not have anything to wear after our clothes were burnt. The company only gave us 200 rials.
They also point out that there are a large number of Sri Lankans whose visas too had expired and claim that they need to be brought to Sri Lanka soon.
The issue now is that why are they not allowing the persons with expired visas to return to the country? Some have been here for over 5 years. It's been 3 years and 3 months since my visa expired. I am not allowed to leave. Yesterday too I informed them of this and they told me to get back to work. Anyone can contact the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment. When they do so, I will dispatch my officers and take measures to bring them back to the country.
The court order has been issued preventing any marches and celebrations in the Mullaitivu Police Division. Police media spokesperson ASP Ruwan Gunasekara said that the Mullaitivu magistrate had issued this order after taking into consideration the facts presented by police.
And information was received that a commemoration ceremony of LTTE is going to be held in Mullaitivu police area. Police has reported to the magistrate court in this regard. Then after that, magistrate has issued the court order banning LTT commemoration in Mullaitivu police area 2 weeks time period from 18th of May.
In more local news, the donations box at the Kegoil General Hospital is reportedly missing.
The missing donation box is one that was located at the entrance of the OPD at the Kegoil General Hospital. This footage was taken when the donation box was at its original location. According to the hospital staff, over 100,000 rupees had been collected in this box over a period of time. However, this morning the staff had noticed that the box had gone missing and their search for it had proven futile. There are a total of 54 security cameras installed in the premises of the Kegoil General Hospital. However, none of the cameras had been able to capture the theft that had taken place.
And that's a wrap of Weekend Primetime News for tonight. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Irugal Bamba. Good night.